Shop Talk FCB.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. What episode is this, Bacardi?
21.
21.
Yes.
We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everybody. We, as always, have an awesome episode for y'all. Very positive.
Awesome.
Very motivational.
Yes, sir.
Very inspiring.
Yes, sir.
Powerful.
Yes, sir.
We're going to talk about what it takes to start something from scratch.
Right.
Something that maybe people might have told you would have been a little difficult to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, before you even thought about doing something like that, you had to go through some training, some schooling.
Absolutely.
You know, some people, they leave high school, they go to college, and they get like a 4 to 6, 8 year degree after that, right? Like depending how far they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they go to different academies.
Right.
Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
So it's a different academy, right? Because you were thinking probably welding,
yeah.
you know, or something.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of discipline.
Absolutely.
For you to, because at the end of the day, when you go into school, a jiu-jitsu academy,
right,
they don't pay you to go there.
No.
It costs money to go there.
Yeah.
But you got a family. You got to support that family.
Yes, sir.
So that means you got to work. And while you're working, you got this goal in your head. This whole time I'm working, you got this goal in your head. I got to go to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Why? Because I want my black belt.
Right.
Why? Because I want my own academy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How long does it take to get your black belt? And then you add a couple degrees to those black belts.
Right.
You know, different belts have a number of stripes to them.
Right.
Before you could even be eligible for a promotion.
Didn't you?
I was in
dabble in a little bit
jiu-jitsu,
jiu-jitsu, right?
Dabbled in it.
Was this the next great guest that we're having? Was he your professor?
Oh, he's the one and only professor. There's only one professor, bro, and he's the one. Yeah, this guy. I gotta say, someone told me the hardest part about jiu-jitsu is walking through those doors.
Wow.
And I swear to you, bro, they were right.
Really?
It was like the hardest thing. It was like, all right, man, we're going to go. We're in the park, me and my son in the parking lot, like, all right, come on, we're going to go. And, you know, you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You're new to it.
Yes, sir.
But you see how positive it is in people's lives because, like, it's not just defending yourself, and it does something else for you. It's very relieving. You know, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
But when I walked in through those doors, it was like they knew me.
Wow.
I swear they were like, hey, how you doing? Come on in. Come on.
Right.
I'm Matt. You know,
right. So very welcoming.
There's another professor, Matt Murata. He's the man too. Overall coaches, because there's other people in there that take it so serious.
Yes.
That when they see someone like you and me, new guys come in, come over here, let me show you.
Right.
I see you doing it. You almost got it, but I'm going to show you how to.
Of course.
And everybody was like that.
Yeah.
Bro, the first class that I had, right after class, they were like, one guy, his name is Dennis, cool guy. He goes, hey, want to roll? And I didn't know what rolling was. I was like, what is this? Is what kind of school this is? Let's fucking roll it. But you know, rolling is like when you get to practice more or less what you've learned already. Okay. I was like, okay, sure.
So it's like another word, want to practice, or
yeah.
Okay.
It's like, yo, you want to roll? Come on, let's get one in. You know, I rolled with this guy.
Okay.
And I'm like, I don't know why, but I thought I knew how to fight.
Yeah. Until you get into
someone that actually trained to be a assassin.
Yes.
Because Dennis I'm on top. I'm thinking I'm like stronger
than
him because I'm bigger, and I'm trying to, and I can't even budge this guy. And the whole time he's looking at me like this,
like stress free.
Like he's like tensed up a little bit, but he's just looking at me, and I'm like, this guy. He tells me while I'm like dripping sweat.
Right.
He's like, you're using too much energy. You're using too much strength. You see me, I'm not even out of breath, and I'm like, what does rolling mean? So little by little, after you feel the acceptance, and after you feel like you are a part of something, you start to go more. You want to be there. You want to go more. The more you go, the more you understand. And I remember a professor said one time, he said, don't worry, one day it's just going to click.
Wow.
And it was like Gandhi said
Yes,
that
yes.
because, bro, one day it clicked.
Right.
He's talking, or I might be watching something on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and I know the moves, and I know the counter move, and I
Right.
know what he just did, and
Right.
and it just started making sense, you know. And
Yeah.
now you might be rolling with another classmate,
Right.
even if you ended up losing the round.
Mm-hmm.
You understood more.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to put him in uncomfortable
Right.
positions,
Right.
and that's what jiu-jitsu is about. We'll ask Professor.
Yes, we'll get more into detail.
What jiu-jitsu is really
Right,
about, you know.
right.
And the gist of things, you know, it's another self-defense type of,
Right.
you know, we've all heard of judo,
Right.
karates, and not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same.
Mm-hmm.
He has a shirt that says, by the way, High Level Jiu-Jitsu, shop on their store online
That's
for
right.
merch.
We'll leave the link in the description below.
You're going to see the link. He has a shirt and it says technique over strength. It don't matter how strong you are,
Wow.
bro. If
Absolutely.
you don't have the technique, if you don't have the understanding,
Mhm.
then you can only go up against
Right.
certain ones.
Absolutely, because you could be strong but don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
Don't know how to handle
Yeah,
yourself in
yeah, yeah.
situations.
And you know,
Yeah.
when we say fight, we don't mean throwing punches.
Yeah.
We're not throwing punches.
Right.
If
It's an
it
art.
was a real scenario, you might be in a position where you
Of
could
course.
strike somebody. But
Yeah.
really, jiu-jitsu's more like what I got from it was more like, listen, sir, I don't want to break your arm. So I would like for you to back up away from me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you're trying to avoid the snapping of another person's
Right.
bone.
So nothing like Cobra Kai.
Nothing
Okay.
like Cobra
Just want to make
Kai.
sure.
No. Actually, you know what's crazy is I remember there was someone and this happens in all
Of course.
academies.
I can imagine.
Someone with a black belt in karate will come into I'm
And try
gonna wear
to
my
challenge?
black belt
Yes.
in jiu-jitsu, and you know, and it's like a blue belt will be like, go ahead, wear your
Right.
well-versed white belt will put
On his back.
put them to work.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say, but I know for a fact that they will be humbled.
Of course.
And
yeah.
they may even say, give me the white belt.
Right.
I'll start over. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Yeah, because I mean I've seen that happen. So
Yeah.
it's different than your usual things. It's
Yes.
more like, yo, listen, we're very relaxed over
Right.
here.
It's more like you said, self-defense.
Yeah,
in case
yeah.
you get put in a situation where you have to. It's not something you go and engage in.
Right, you might.
Right.
It might be something where, like, if you had to use this kind
Right.
of force, it would be something where you got the opponent
Right.
in a position where you're staying here until the cops
Yeah,
come,
yeah.
because I don't trust what you're gonna do after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So-
from the little bit of knowledge that I know of jiu-jitsu, I think it's more of an art form, more of a training your body, obedience, discipline, and in your mind as well, you know?
Yeah, no, and it is, because the obedience is real. Because if Professor or any of his coaching, you know, people that step up to the plate and help, you know, if they find out that someone's abusing
Right.
that kind of power and knowledge, they're not gonna welcome that guy
Of
with
course.
open arms
Of
anymore.
course, yeah.
You know, they're gonna wanna. This is not for you to hurt people. This is for you to kind of protect yourself.
Yes.
Let's get into how this whole thing started.
Yes.
And before we bring Professor on, because he's already here.
Mm-hmm. He's been waiting patiently. That's what a professional does.
We went to school. We went to school, and we went to the same high school.
Oh, wow.
For a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah, like he was like a grade above me.
Did you
I
know each
believe.
other? Did you guys know each other?
I knew
Of him? Right.
I knew of him because he was also a wrestler.
Oh, okay.
Not
so,
just your ordinary wrestler.
Right.
This guy was the wrestler.
Wow.
And I also know he had an older brother, and
Yes.
I remember seeing them in school. What happened after school? What told him I want jujitsu?
Right.
You know, was it the background in wrestling?
Right.
So we're gonna get into all that,
Okay.
including what made him feel like, you know, I want to start my own academy.
Right.
On top of juggling a full-time career.
Wow. So
Yeah.
this is just his.
Dude,
wow, that's
this
crazy.
is because this is his passion.
Right, but you would think like the jiu-jitsu and owning your own school would take up so much time, but he also has a career.
Bro, he balances. It's
That's
balance.
great. There you
We're gonna
go.
talk about
Yeah,
that
yeah.
discipline,
Yeah,
all right?
That's right. That's
Let's
right.
get over.
And you got to learn that.
Let's get Professor James
Yes,
Fallis
sir.
over here.
Let's go. Yeah, move on in.
Have
How's
a
it going,
seat,
bro?
my friend.
Nice to
Have
meet
a
you.
seat. We got the one and only Professor James Fallis, everybody.
Yes, let's give him a round of applause, guys. Come on, welcome.
Yes. First of all, Professor, I gotta thank you so much for joining us. Episode 21. We've been looking forward to this episode.
Absolutely, because we've been talking about him for a minute. Not to cut you off, but we're like, we got to get Professor in there. I'm like, who's this Professor guy? Is he like a teacher? Like, well,
but you know what? Yeah. He's a different kind of teacher.
Yes.
You know, he was gonna come on the show. Bacardi got injured,
and I'm still injured.
He's still injured. The crutches are out of the scene. But
I'm getting better. I was moving around a little bit more. Yeah.
You know, so we want to ask you a couple questions, man. If you don't mind, take us back, because I remember you telling me we close at 6. The barbershop closes at 6.
Right.
Class sometimes starts at 6.
Right.
So I'd be like, Professor, yo, it's just that I feel bad because I close at 6 and then I got,
by the time you get there,
28 minutes, 25 minutes to get there. And he said, just come to class.
Wow.
He said there was times where I clocked out of work. I had to drive to Vermont. Am I mistaken?
Yeah.
Or you were driving from Vermont? Or
coming home from Vermont.
Wow.
And he'd be in class. He by the time he got to class, there was 15 minutes left to class, but he still showed up.
That's dedication, right?
You know?
Yeah, that's dedication.
Heck yeah, you know. And so, you know, here I am thinking like, yo, I'm not gonna disrespect him by coming late.
Yes.
And he's like, dude, there's no disrespect.
Right.
You at least get a little bit out of this.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like you're doing it on purpose.
Right.
You know, he knows the schedule and stuff like that. And that's the kind of open-minded environment that high-level jiu-jitsu brings. You know? So I just gotta plug that in there.
Absolutely.
You know. So high school, you were a wrestler, right?
Yeah, I wrestled in high school. I didn't make it too far into high school because I had kids.
Yeah. So we dropped out of high school.
Yes.
I dropped out too. Don't feel bad.
I got taken out.
I dropped out too.
Yeah, I had to leave high school middle of 9th grade. I was still trying to wrestle, but I ended up having my daughter. It wasn't going to work out. I had to quit school and start working. Did a few not so good jobs. I worked construction, cleaned cars, worked on cars, whatever it took to make ends meet. Eventually got into welding, and that's what I still do now since I was 19. Yeah.
And you're in the union, right? Or?
No, non-union.
Non-union.
Yep.
Okay, I'll be seeing pictures of you, like you're up high and...
Yeah.
What is it exactly that you're doing?
I do steel work. I'm an iron worker.
Wow.
I'm the crazy guy out there climbing around out in the steel.
Wow,
you know?
I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's all year round work?
Yes,
wow.
yes.
And so
summertime you're dealing with the heat, dealing with the sun beaming down on you. In the wintertime you're dealing with the cold, you know, snow.
Icicles on your mustache.
Yeah, the steel's icy. You still got to get out there and get the work done.
Yeah.
So
and you've been there for a while, so they love you.
I've been there 27 years.
Oh my God! Wow.
27 years.
Wow, loyalty.
Yeah.
Dedication.
Wow.
You went right to work out of high school. You started a family early. On top of juggling those two busy things already, you decided to start jiu-jitsu training. Who was the person that said, yo, you got to do this? And what made you like say, I'm going to do that?
At the time, I was young, eating bad, and you get heavy. Right now, I'm 145, but I was about 180, 185.
Right.
I started having some health issues, ulcers in the esophagus and my stomach. I went to the doctor. She told me you got to change everything around, start eating healthy. So I did. I started working out again. One day at the gym, I ran into this guy, Danny Montavo. He knew that I wrestled. You know, I known him forever. And he goes, you still doing any wrestling? I said, no. He goes, you should come down. He goes, I do a little class. It's not, nothing crazy. He goes, we just get in there, we mix it up and see what you got. And I was like, I don't want to. I'm old for that. Too old for that now. He goes, yeah, you probably don't have it anymore anyway. And for me,
that's it.
Certain people will agree. I don't have it no more. And I was like, okay. I was like, when is this class? And he goes, I think it was Wednesdays and Fridays. And I said, I'll be there Wednesday. He goes, all right, yeah. I went there, and like I said, it wasn't nothing structured like we have down at the academy. You just get in there and mix it up with whoever's there. Guys twice your size, guys your same size, didn't matter. But you weren't really too well instructed. You would just say, hey, get in there and you figure it out. So I was like, all right, stuck it out for a while. In the beginning, when I first started, I just wanted to do it once a week, maybe twice a week if I had nothing else going on, just to know it, just in case something ever happened. I didn't want to be the guy getting put out in front of, whoever,
Right, sure.
And I'm not a guy that likes to go out anyway, but I just wanted to know it, It started with that, just maybe once or twice a week. As soon as I started, I couldn't get enough of it, It reminded me of wrestling when I was in high school. I had to figure out where else could I learn, but with structure, you know? I went to this academy in Latham Circle Mall. This is way back. This is like 2005 maybe. There was this Brazilian guy in there teaching, and he didn't know English too good. And I watched the class. It was hard for him to get it through to his students.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll come, maybe I'll come back. And I was still training with Danny at the time. I went to this other place. It was called Spa City Jiu-Jitsu. And this guy, Chad Beatty, run it. He was a black belt. Bruno was a purple belt at the time. I said, man, this guy's a real black belt. You know, back in the day, it was very rare. Now you have a lot of guys who train jiu-jitsu, a lot of black belts, a lot of brown belts. But back in the day, like Chad would tell us, he says, even seeing a purple belt back in the day was like seeing a unicorn. It was a crazy thing, you know? So I thought it was crazy. Oh, this guy's a Brazilian and he's a purple belt. I was like, oh man, this is great. But then when I went over here, Chad was a black belt, already had the gym going. It wasn't a very big school, but he had like 30 students. He had some blue belts, a couple purple belts. And I was like, man, this is crazy. I was like, all these guys in one place. I was like, this is the place I want to come and train. So I signed up that same day. And mind you, I've been training with Danny already. So for about a year. And when I went there, my first class, they gave me 3 stripes. They called me up and they gave me 3 stripes on my belt. And I was like, oh, I just started. They're like, oh no, you deserve it. You know, you've been training for a long time. We know you deserve it. My next class was the next day. The next day I get my purple belt. I'm standing there and they say, James, come up to the class, to the front of the class. Come get your blue belt. And I'm looking around like this. I was like, where's James? Who else is James? You know? And because the day before I just got 3 stripes on my white belt and I just started. I was like, this can't be me. And the guy's looking, he's like, yeah, you dummy. Get up here, you know? So I was like, oh my God. When I found this place, I started training every day. It went from just wanting 1 to 2 days to sometimes call into work to train in the morning and then go back later on in the day at night to train also. I told you it happens, you know. Guys come in, I just want to learn a little bit, and they end up getting hooked and want to train as much as possible, right. You know.
Wow.
That's how it started for me.
And so you're how many stripes on your black belt right now?
3 stripes on my black belt.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Oh my God, 3 stripes.
3 stripes on a black belt.
I only got 4 belts, regular belts. I bought them in Macy's. You know.
Oh man. Yeah, and so what made you say I could do this on top of your already existing career?
Yeah, right. Being a father, being a husband, right?
Husband, provider. What made you say, yo, I still got room on my plate?
Going to class every day, seeing how I would do against bigger guys than me. So I was like, hey, let me try a couple tournaments. You start doing some tournaments, you win some. At first, you lose some. Mm-hmm. You know, you lose a lot. You start to figure things out. You start to figure out the game. You start winning some. After that, I was like, let me try some bigger tournaments. I started doing some IBJJF tournaments. That's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation. Right. So they're legit tournaments. I did a couple of those, won a couple of those. Then I signed up for the Pan Ams, just thinking, man, I'll go there and I'm not going to win, but they're going to know, they're going to know, that I came to put up a fight. I went there, I won 4 matches in a row, and I won the Pan Ams. And
wow.
Which it's a good sized tournament, decent tournament. And after that, a guy says, hey, you gonna go to the Worlds? I don't think so. I don't think I'm ready for that. And they go, hey dude, you just won the Pan Ams. That's that's pretty big. You don't think of it as that. I just thought I got lucky. I went there and got lucky. The guys fell into the chokes and but I went to the Worlds after. I said, hey, let me try it. Same thing. I said, I don't think I'm gonna win or even come close, but I showed up, and again, 4 matches, I won all 4, and
wow,
that's amazing, man.
Wow,
that's amazing.
Congratulations!
Yeah, for real.
What an accomplishment!
Yeah, just hearing it, I feel good.
I know.
So imagine how he must have felt.
Wow, dude,
that's great.
And where did that take place?
The Worlds, when I was going back, a while back, 10, 15 years ago, they would do them every year in California at the Long Beach Pyramid, which is a beautiful place. Yeah, we'd fly out there, a bunch of us from Spa City. Professor Matt would come every year with us. He started to compete after, but just a crew of us would go and see how we did. Some of us got lucky, some of us didn't.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And then the interest to say, yo, I could do this. I want to have a student body.
I never thought of that. I never think as myself as a teacher. as an instructor. Like I said, I never even thought I was going to compete. I just wanted to learn a little bit. Then it takes over, here and there, going to class every day, you start to become friends with people and they ask you, hey, how you're doing this or how you doing that? Show me. I'm interested. And they show some interest and you start showing them stuff. And then you see them smashing and killing guys with the stuff that you taught them. And, maybe I can teach a little bit, And after I won the Worlds, they wanted me to start teaching. Chad wanted me to start teaching a little bit. And so they gave me one day a week. I would teach Sundays. And I didn't want to, but all right, I'll do it just to help out. It started with just 1 to 2 students. And then all of a sudden you got a whole class full of guys in there, and they're going back and telling Chad how much they like my instruction, and you're amazed. I mean, they like the way I'm teaching. I've never even been showed how to teach or anything like that.
You were just being yourself.
Yeah, you just be yourself.
And
try to
passing
show them,
along that knowledge.
Yeah, try to show them what you know, the ins and outs of what you think is right, and you see them, like I said, applying it to people, catching people in arm locks, shoulder locks, chokes.
Yeah,
I was like, maybe I can do this, and after I got my black belt, Chad had sold the school he sold it to this other guy. It just wasn't the same anymore for me there. So I was like, maybe I'll try opening up a school and seeing how it goes, I didn't expect to get anybody in there. And the first day, you got a room full of people, class full of kids, full adults, full class. And it's been like that ever since, Get in there, I try to show what I know, and guys like it, they keep coming back.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's teaching them because your students also sign up for tournaments.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
And they're winning.
Right,
you
of
got
course.
a couple of studs in there right now.
Yeah.
We got a lot of good guys. Ryan Hernagel, who you know also, he's going to Brazil, I think, next weekend.
Yeah.
Next weekend, he's flying out to, I think it's Sao Paulo. He's flying out there. He's competing. You grapple in military fatigues and everything. It's crazy. It's
like sand, right?
It's in a pit. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And,
it's a different animal.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But if someone signed up for it, it should be Hernagel, bro. It should be Ryan, bro.
Oh, okay.
He's a beast.
He fits the part.
He fits the part.
Yeah.
Hernagel stopped by yesterday and he was telling me about it, and I go, because he showed me a picture of the guy.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, you nervous?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nah, I'm not really worried about him much.
Wow.
Then he goes, I seen his stuff on YouTube. He doesn't really have any explosiveness. And he's right, because he better come correct, because Ryan's coming correct. And that's just one student, and he has a couple other students that are like, they're getting medallions, winning some official tournaments.
Yeah, we have a guy, Jordan.
Jordan is a monster.
Yeah, he's really good, man. When he first came in the door, I looked at him. I said to myself, I didn't say to anybody else, but I said, man, this guy ain't gonna last. Computer guy, was heavier, never played any sports, never did nothing like that. He kept showing up. He goes, hey, man, I like this stuff. How do I get better? I said, just keep coming up. Keep coming, show up. In the beginning, you're going to take some beatings, I would watch this guy get mangled by Hernagel. Grind him.
He demolished me too before.
But Hernagel's a guy who helped him out a lot in the beginning. He told him, first couple of days, he says, hey, learn to accept the grind. And he goes, diamonds are made under pressure. He tells him.
Ain't that the truth?
So Jordan looked at him and was like, all right, I'll try it. I'll keep coming. And I don't know if he was ready to quit or not, but taking a beating like that every day and not having any wrestling background I was amazed when he kept showing up and getting better, because jiu-jitsu is not for, it's for everybody, but sometimes the guys who get really good, all the time, the guys who get really good are guys like him who can analyze these positions, figure them out, and problem solve. A lot of times I see bigger guys not do as well. Big, strong guys not do as well. They think that they can out-muscle and do that, and they're not so worried about understanding the positions and what to do when you're in these positions and how to figure it out. They just think they're going to be able to muscle through things and power through things and use their size and strength to get through these positions. It takes them a lot longer to get better, where these smaller guys who, they think of it as like computers, They how do I figure this out? And you can see him when I'm teaching something. He's looking at you and he's like, that's what I was missing. That's the detail. And then you could see him downloading it. And he's amazing, Jordan.
He's really good. I've seen a bunch of his tournaments like on video. They always like live stream them.
Right.
Guy, I think he was like 240 pounds when he started. Now he's walking around at 165.
Wow.
Crazy good shape.
Crazy.
Yeah, great shape. Totally changed his life.
Humble too.
Yeah. I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Guy.
He's a guy, I'm telling you, you look at him and you'd say, smash this
I'll
guy.
wash him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. You better walk away. You make one wrong move, you're a pretzel.
Yeah.
If he has a hold of you, something's
I can
he's gonna
imagine.
break something or put you to sleep. He's amazing. We got a lot of guys like that. We got a lot of guys like that. They're silent assassins, you know.
Yeah. I bet you they're humble too.
Yeah,
They really are,
guys.
man. In all walks of life.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Bro,
yeah.
all walks of life. I mean, from all over the world, different countries to just different upbringings.
And that's great because I think it brings everyone together from all walks of life.
It's just so cool because it's like a brotherhood.
Right, of course.
And back when I started, it wasn't like that. You know, it was more. It wasn't like how we, you know, how our academy is very inviting and stuff like that. Back when I started, it was only the guys who wrestled, who tough guys who like to get beat up, who like to get their ass kicked. You know, stuck it out and got good. But now, like I said, you see these computer nerds, lawyers, doctors, plumbers, construction workers. Everybody gets good at it. All you gotta do is just keep showing up. You know,
that's amazing. That's great.
That's awesome. So how long have you had the academy?
We've been open a little over 9 years now.
9 years.
Wow.
That flew by.
Yeah, right.
I remember when Sam was first telling me about it, and he was like, "Yo, you gotta go, man. You gotta go.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wanted to go, but it was that first initial going through the door, that first step.
Yeah.
It was always like, it's always sounded like a good idea and a good spot with good people in it.
Right. The anxiety.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
of course,
all right, I guess I gotta, you know.
Because you're stepping into something that you never did before. So
man. Just being the new guy at anything is already enough anxiety with that, you know. And then to go into a place like that, you know, you feel that. But when you also now, you know, I'm glad that things have changed and it's more inviting and stuff like that.
Right.
I couldn't imagine walking into a place where I felt like that guy wants to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, come over here. You want to
because that's always inviting. You know?
Yeah, no, man. I don't want to die, man. Very, very inviting spot. High level jiu-jitsu. I had to stop training because I hurt my leg. You know, and then I don't know what happened. I hurt my other leg.
Wow. Crazy, right?
Yeah, so this one I had surgery on. This one I still got to get MRIs and stuff like that. But I got to do it.
Do it.
Yeah, because you're going through it.
Yeah, I'm going through it right now.
You're about to have the same surgery
I'm about
I
to
had
have
on
the
this
same.
one.
Yes, sir.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? You've already been at your job for 27 years. You got the academy.
For going on 10 years.
And you just had a birthday too, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let the world know, because he looks young, guys. Let the world know how old you are.
I just turned 45.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Man.
Let's give a round of applause for turning 45.
Still look young, you know? Staying active, staying busy, staying healthy.
Eating right,
So what's the future hold for Professor?
5 years from now, I hope to be retired from steel work. I don't want to do that no more. Hopefully running the academy full time.
Wow.
So bring back kids classes and everything?
I would like to. I'd like to. If I could retire from my everyday job, I would come back to teach the kids. I would like to get them started soon, but I can't see myself teaching the kids classes and doing the construction and teaching the adult classes.
No, it's a lot for you, man.
But I'd like to get, one of the up and coming guys to take that over. I know Hernicle has shown some interest, so I'd like to get one of them guys doing it. I just can't teach them all. I can't teach the kids, and I was doing it before, and it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah, no, you were doing it though. You was doing it, and he had packed classes.
I believe it, because I remember you used to tell me.
He had packed classes.
20, 30 kids, and sometimes it's just me and my son. It's tough. It's tough, but
you stuck it out.
Yeah.
And look at these rewards you're getting now. I mean, praises from so many people,
from everyone, right?
From just having you as their teacher.
Yeah. What advice would you give someone who wants to do the same thing you're doing? I mean, maybe starting a school as well, an academy, or what advice would you give them?
An academy,
like a younger version,
version of yourself. If you could talk to yourself.
He's listening right now.
10 years ago, because he still looks young.
Oh man, just stick with it. Stick with it. You got to stay on top of what's going on right now too. You know, a lot of guys who I came up under lost interest, stopped worrying about what the newest and the latest thing was, and stayed with basic jiu-jitsu, which is nothing wrong with that, you know. But if you want to have a good solid academy with, you know, teaching self-defense jiu-jitsu for everybody,
Right.
but then again, you're also going to have guys who want to compete, and if you aren't staying up on all this stuff that's new, they're not going to do so good at tournaments, you know. So you got to stay up with that stuff too, and stay involved. Try to stay up on everything as much as you can. It's tough with family, and especially if you're doing something else in the meantime until you're able to get things going. You got to find time and stay up on everything, and just grind. Do what you can. That's all you can do. Stick with it. Try your best. Don't just phone things in. Show that you're interested in what you're doing, and people will see that. People will see, like Mike was saying earlier, I've never been taught how to teach a class or how to teach people and stuff like that, but I just try my best, and people see that, and they see that you're trying hard, and they keep coming, and you know, that's all you can do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The hard work
That's so
shows.
awesome.
That's
man.
right.
So sticking with it,
Yeah.
even on challenging times. I mean, I'm sure that there's always up and down.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know,
There's gonna be, but like I said, you gotta continue to grind, try your best, and like I said, hopefully people come through those doors and see that you're trying your hardest. You know?
Right.
showing up
Is
goes
the
a
hardest.
long way, bro.
Yes.
I mean, look at Jordan. My man showed up, and he's right. Because I remember when Jordan first started, I was still a student, and I remember, like, you know, anybody, you know, who might not have that kind of background, he seems like such a nice person, and you don't see that in him.
Right.
But he showed up,
Right.
and he's going to these tournaments, and he's taking over these
That's
tournaments.
crazy.
I mean, he got the announcers like,
Right.
"Who is this guy? Jordan?" You know, I'm like, "What? Yo, Jordan with the submission."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So showing up, man, showing
And
up.
also having a good professor says a
Bro,
lot.
you couldn't do
It has
that
to be.
without the professor.
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah,
Come
no,
on.
and he's paying attention.
Yeah.
He's always paying attention. He'll come up. He might be working with someone already, which is like really two people. When
Right.
he's working with
sees it.
with two people, right? These two partners that are practicing a maneuver that he just got done lecturing about. But he sees you over there struggling with, you know, something.
Right.
And he'll be like, "Give me 1 second."
Right.
Go over there.
Yeah.
You know, and he'll be like, "Yo, look, grab that, move this. All right, position your hip over here. You see the difference?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just like the little details, man. You miss them if you don't show up.
That's
When
right.
times get tough, still show up, man. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta give you a round of applause for that because that was great. It's true. It's true,
It's true, man. Yo, Professor, man, thank you so much, man. This is a Saturday.
Yes.
FCB was super busy today. It's his day off.
That's right.
Did you teach today? Did you have class today?
No.
Okay.
Matt Heiser.
Oh,
taught
okay.
today.
Shout out to Matt Heiser, another beast,
yes,
another savage. And shout out Jay Hickok, and shout out Todd. Yeah, man. Shout out the guys, bro. All those guys, very influential, were there to help me.
That's great.
You know, get some information. Also, you know, when I was in there, Jay Hickok is just an awesome human being.
Right.
Yes.
And he got me to start going to the 7 a.m. classes.
Wow.
Before work, I was getting choked out.
So you was coming to work all choked
I
out
was
like
feeling bruises. Where you got the bruises from? Don't ask. I loved it.
that's okay.
Yeah, it's one of the things, bro. It makes you feel good.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
It's exhilarating, you know. But he came here on his free time. He joined us.
Yes.
I can't thank you enough.
And we appreciate
Professor.
it. Yes.
It's my pleasure.
Really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yes.
And that wraps up episode 21, Shop Talk.
That's right. Thank you
FCB.
guys for tuning in.
High level jiu-jitsu.
That's right. We're gonna have all this information.
We're gonna drop
in
the links.
description. Yep. I'm gonna have
and
it right here.
address. We're gonna send directions to the academy.
Yes.
You're gonna love it.
Yes.
Peace, y'all.
Peace.